Hello there, welcome to another week in our garden. Now this week we've had torrential rain, thunderstorms, humidity is very high. When I came down the garden this morning you couldn't see from one end to the other because of the heavy mist. Now that is creating the ideal conditions for the blight. And then we had a blight warning came through. That's the second blight warning we've had this year, this early, so the weather is all over the place this year. But it's been very wet and things are growing well and it's lovely and warm, so we'll enjoy what we've got, I think. Today we'll harvest some rhubarb. We'll ridge the last of the potatoes up. That's the first ridging. I do it in 2 or 3 goes and then it's easier. We'll pick some lettuce and a bit of radish. We need to get the grease pans greased up ready and then we'll have a look at those onions. Okay, now this is the rhubarb. There's only 2 roots that we have down here, but what I wanted to show you, that because of the rain we've had and it's grown very well, what you find is some of the outside leaves will fall to the ground and then they'll start, because they're not producing much more now, the rhubarb plant will switch off that particular stalk and they will decay and rot, and then you'll have pest trouble with your slugs etc. underneath. So it's best occasionally just go round before you start picking, have a look round the edge and take out anything that looks a bit yellow or soft that you can't use. So take those away, chop them up and compost them. Good example, I left these, look, so I could show you. They're just going to rot now, look, can you see there, look, out of the rotting. Take these away, look. I left these so I could show you. These are rotting underneath it. I've been right round the plant but left this so I could show you. Also keep your eye out for any flowers, take those out. And if you get a leaf that's been badly eaten, take that out and use it if it's any good. The stalk, use the stalk if it's any good, if not put it on the compost heap. It will keep producing for a long time yet. The usual way, and I show you every year how to pull your rhubarb. Those who haven't seen it yet, it's quite simple. One of those that had fallen on the floor, look, it's totally green. We don't really want it. It won't be eaten, that's too green. I'll follow it all the way down to the bottom if I can, and then twist it off, get it out. You see it's damaged anyway, so we don't really want it. And that's been laid on that rotten stuff, so we'll discard that one. We like them nice and red, they're a little bit sweeter. Right, so you're going to be using a sharp knife, so be careful. There's a nice red one here, look, so we'll follow that down and give it a pull. There you are. There you are, look, that's a good one. What I normally do, I measure it to the size of the trug and cut off. On the leaf end, always leave a good inch of stalk as a minimum, because if you get too close to here it gets a bit bitter. These are the nice ones to get, look, a nice red one, so I'll make a pile and then we'll do it. Here we are, look at that, look, lovely. As you go down, if you see one of the long ones on the bottom that's green, or if there's a bad one, take it away and get it on the compost heap. Well, you need a rope for that one. That's a good one, look. Now I'll carry on and take them out, and then I'll show you again when we've got the trug full. There's the rhubarb that was pulled today, and tomorrow supposedly going to rain all day, so the roots will grow fresh growth again after today. Now while we're here, you can see this year's potato crop. Because of the very wet weather, etc., and warm, they really have grown away this year. It's doing very well. There's even one or two I noticed starting to throw flowers, but they're the earliest, so they want to be throwing the flower. Now I have earthed them up twice now. With the long handle bent fork, I shall keep working between the rows to loosen the soil a little bit, and then just try and ridge them once more, so that when the potatoes do start swelling, they won't pop out the sides of the ridge. So I'll try and get one more in. I won't fertilise them again, because as I've ridged them, I've actually fertilised them, so we won't get no more. But they are looking rather well. But as I've said, we've had 2 blight warnings already this year, so be careful this year. Now I've left a few on the end behind me, and we'll go around and just show you how I ridge them up and put the fertiliser on. Now I've just this short row here to ridge up again. The ridging that we did originally, we had that much torrential rain that it washed the soil back into the line. Now to fertilise them, using this potato fertiliser, which is organic. We got this from Gardening Naturally. They gifted it to us, so we'll try this. I put this into my jars because if I do it with the box will be empty before I get down to the end of the first row, so I like to have a little bit in the jar, and then I know that I'm spreading it right. All I do is I just sprinkle between and round, that's it. Literally, I've only got these 5 to do, so I just sprinkle it on, just in and round. Look. When we ridge, we'll take the soil and put it onto the fertiliser, and then the fertiliser is already in the soil. The other thing I'm putting on the potatoes this year are some chicken pellets, chicken fertiliser pellets. You all know what they look like. And it comes in quite a big pack, so I've decanted them to the box that had the potato fertiliser in. Now this I sprinkle up both sides, so when I'm ridging it goes up with the soil. Be quite heavy with them, don't have to do that side. Look, to ridge you can use a swan necked hoe, draw hoe as they call them, a rake. I brought this old rake out of retirement just to do it, and then I'll put it back in retirement, because now we've got the other one which is very long time, but it's not quite so fine to pull the soil up as this one. Then it's just a case of keep pulling it up, just keep dragging it up, just keep pulling it up, not too much. Now when these potatoes that are down here start swelling, they'll try and pop out the sides, so if you do it too much they'll quite easily pop out. So if we do it a little bit and then again, then if you see any potatoes you can cover them up. As you can see, the soil is awfully wet still, but I'm getting it done very well. This soil is actually on the limit of not being able to do it. A little bit wetter, we wouldn't have been able to do this, but I'll do to there, then we'll do this side, and then we'll show you the finish. There you are, that's all the potatoes ridged again and fertilised this time as well, and they look quite well. Now while we're down here, we'll do the tree grease on the fruit trees. I have done 1, 2, 3, 4 of them, and I've just left this old pear tree to show you what I do to put the grease on. It is rather a messy job, so I've got the gloves on. This is tree grease we'll be using. We got this from Gardening Naturally. It's a good grease. It stays tacky for a long time. Now to do the tree grease, as I said, it's rather a messy job, so I keep the bottle I'm using with the paintbrush in, as you can see, and you really do need gloves on. You won't never get that out of that brush, but it stays soft all the time, so if I put it in there and then bag it up and put it in the cupboard, it stays nice and soft till next time I want to use it. Now they have got bands on and they've got jute string around it, so if the tree, you can see where it's grown a little bit, but eventually it will snap the string and then I'll have to put new string on. Now there's already ants going up and down this bark across, because the grease is not so tacky now after the winter. The ants will make holes in the fruit and mess them up. They also will take aphid up the tree and then they'll milk them like we milk cows, and then they'll bring the sap back down to the nest. There's quite a few going up and down, so we need to get this grease on. And say it's a messy old job, but we've got to get it on. If you just keep working your brush, you'll find it'll eventually go on. There you are, look, it's going on now. It doesn't hurt the tree at all, so you can put it straight on the bark if you wanted. Let's get some more on the brush. Just keep working it, it will go in. Try and get everywhere. If there's a little piece you've missed, the ants will find it. Well, not just the ants, all the insects will find it. It's lovely down the bottom of this garden. It's nice and quiet. The birds are singing. It's lovely. I don't know what type of bird it is, but it does sing nice. Right, I'll just do around the other side now, and then that's completely encircled with the grease. Alright, just keep working it, it soon goes on. That's nearly it now. I'll just check, make sure it's all covered. There you are, look. Made a good job, that has. That's all the fruit trees at the bottom of the garden done now. There's still 2 at the top, but I'll do those later today. We will have to probably do it once more midsummer because of the dust, etc. If it gets too much dust on it, we'll have to redo it. But while the weather's as it is now, there's no chance of getting the dust on. We'll go up now and have a look at those onions. Now we're at the overwintering onion bed. Now we've made a decision this year that I'm actually going to lift them early, put them on the onion racks to dry, because they're absolutely full of rust. They're beginning to run to seed, and then I think we're at the stage now with these overwintering onions. We're going to have to think carefully about how many we're going to set next year. I think just one row from now on. They've never really done as well as I'd like to. Maybe it's the where we are and the soil that we've got, but we might just put one row in from now on. But these we'll lift, use them, and then put something else in. Okay, so that's now this is another year where they're just full of rust. I've got other onions coming up, so I really need to clear these out now and then get the land cleared, and we'll put another crop in. As you can see, some have made reasonable size. We'll hang that up on the rack to let it dry, but it's absolutely rusted up, and I can't risk the rust spreading to other parts of the plot at this stage. I've got too many other important crops in to concentrate on rather than these onions. So we'll put them on the rack, dry them out, use what we can. While we're down here, I'll harvest a few lettuce, the kohlrabi that's ready, and some radishes that are really ready. I'm at the brassica bed. The romanesco's coming along nicely. As you can see, the romanesco are beginning to heart up now. We'll be able to see what we're going to do with those soon. And what I did, I interplanted with some lettuce. Well, now I'm going to take 3 out, one for us and one for two, each for 2 other people. This lettuce, let's have some out. I'm going in here to take this one because it's a little bit covered in there. Now what I do, I like to pull the whole thing up, then brush the soil off, cut the root off, so that goes to the compost. I think if you tend to leave the roots in, they go rotten and they sour the soil a little bit. So I'll just clean this off. Just with the back of the knife, look, no need, not serious cleaning, but it's best to leave your soil down here. Then just take that off, look, if I can just hold it, there you go. I would take that off, and that's not a bad lettuce, that's little gem. Same again, hand underneath, pull them up, just go around knocking some of the soil off. Best be careful, you don't want too much soil on the lettuce itself. So I think I'll take that one there because it's the biggest, I think. Yes, I'll take it. So I'm going to have to lean right in to get this one. There you are. Right then, same again, just brush round with the back of the knife. And then just carefully cut that root away. Look. Nice and clean if you can, and then that'll go up like that. It's a good lettuce. This is the one with the Brussels in, and I interplanted down the centre with kohlrabi, and there's one there that's ready, so we need to lift that and put that in the coleslaw. I don't like to keep the tunnels open too long, so I need to get on. I've just lifted it out, look, it's absolutely beautiful, but I'm just going to put it down so we can get the tunnel down. Here it is, first kohlrabi. I've got the tunnel back down as quick as I could because there's some butterflies about, and I certainly don't want them in there. So same again, we'll just clean some of the earth off if we can with the back of the knife. It's rather difficult with these, and then we'll just cut that little root. There's like a neck and you need to cut through it. It's quite tough. It's quite tough even with a sharp knife. There it is, look. Take as much of the soil off as you can. Clean the knife and then you just take those off. There's nothing on it time we've done, you see. There you go. Just dress it a little bit, and then what you do, You leave the little tassel on the middle, look. There you go. That looks nice to go up to the house. Very, very nice in coleslaw. Opened another tunnel up. This has got a few radish in. Now because of the wet and the warm, the radishes are huge, so we'll harvest them and send them up, and then if they're too big they'll be diced up and fed to the chickens. You see, they're quite big, they're even splitting, look. The weather's just too good for them. But I've got to take them, so we'll have to take them up. That's not bad. Take out that one will be diced, chickens will have that. They're fine. Right, we've just popped into the fruit cage just to show you that the raspberries from DT Brown's have arrived. Thank you very much, DT Brown. And I've popped them in, and fingers crossed now and get them growing. There they are, look. 6 of them. Fingers crossed they'll grow. Now that'll be about it for this week. I hope you've enjoyed it. I'm going to stay down the garden now and listen to these birds singing. I don't know if you can hear them. They've shut up now, I've said that. That'll be it for this week. Thank you very much for subscribing, we do appreciate it. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next week, and we'll do a full garden update next week, let you know what we've been up to and what we've planted. Okay, bye now.